Hi, I'm Mark Fisher, a Master Saddler and a Society of Master Saddlers registered qualified saddle fitter. So my involvement, obviously operating the Pliance, looking at all the bridles that are out there at the moment, what's being used, how they're being fitted, where the pressure is. This is the mat, one of the mats that we use for the bridles, obviously looking at the pole pressure. Two different mats had to be sort of procured, if you like, for this research. The Pliance hired through the Society of Master Saddlers. The mat here used under the Fairfax Bridle to look at the peak pressures, the force. Every horse that we did, we looked at their own existing bridle first, how it was fitted, and then once the testing was done, then obviously the Fairfax Bridle went on to take the readings, the comparison, and at the same time the gait analysis to see the difference in not just the pressure, where the pressure was, but also how the horse was moving. At a later date, as we evolved with the work, the rain gauges were incorporated. That's looking at the evenness of the contact compared to the contact that you had with the rider's own existing bridles. So we started with the pole, then we'd go to the nose, we'd move on to the jowl. So every part of the bridle was mapped. This is both the gait analysis and the Pliance system in action, and then going into a very clever computer program with the high-speed cameras, capturing those markers, and then analysing the data so that we can see how much flexion you've got, where the horse, if it's improving, where it's improving. Here we have a jumping video. This was a 1 metre faulty fence, so it's quite interesting really. Initially when we started the work, you know, everybody makes claims about bridles and relieving pressure and all the rest of it, but nothing had actually ever been scientifically sort of proven. So it was early days. We didn't know what we were looking at. We didn't know what we were going to see. Interestingly, the pressure varied an awful lot, as you're about to see. We thought that once pressure is there, it's constant, but it will vary. It varied with the stride pattern, the horse's head position, obviously the contact on the reins. So you can see here the video, you've got the approach to the fence. To orientate yourselves, the horse is going up the screen, so where you've got the highest sort of green mark pressure there, that's sort of behind the left ear and then behind the right ear. So interestingly, there's a dip where the pole is. Yeah. So the actual pole pressure we didn't really see. Yeah. Behind the ears, the atlas, the first vertebrae, and then very interestingly, the markers that we've got here, the peaks we've got there, left and right. That's the brow band and also the TMJ, yeah, the horse's jaw joint. You can see in flight there how the pressure almost drops completely away. So even though the bridle is still there, we've still got a contact, etc. Same as the saddle, same as what we would expect under the saddle. When the horse is jumping, the approach, the takeoff, we would see a high peak with a takeoff. A lot of what we see under the bridle and under the saddle is ground force. It's coming up through the horse, striking the underside of the bridle. As we land, the ground force reaction coming up through, and then obviously the rider taking a contact again. So a horse going left to right here, centre line in the trot. It's slightly different orientation on the mat, so the peak that you've got there on the left is sort of left ear and left atlas. Obviously the right, the hollow in between on the pole. Again, we've always spoken about pole pressure, haven't we? Need to rewrite the books. And again, if you watch the stride, it peaks, it troughs, it peaks, it troughs. The pressure that we were seeing under the headpiece was really quite interesting and quite high. The highest pressures we saw were on the nose. When we placed it on the nose, we were probably 4 to 5 times higher than what we get under the saddle, and 2 to 3 times higher than we'd get under the girth at times, so it was incredible. So this is a picture of the peak pressure under the headpiece. The red denotes the rider's own bridle, and the green denotes the Fairfax bridle. As you can see, this was an average taken over the 28 horses. You can see the reduction here. On average, there was a 69% reduction in pressure, peak pressure. This shows the force, the maximum force. Again, you can see the reduction. There was roughly a 46% reduction in force compared to with the Fairfax bridle compared to their own bridle. So again, 28 horses, firstly ridden in their own bridle, then ridden in the Fairfax bridle. As the study went on, we reversed it as well, because some people would say, yeah, but the horse is going better because it's warmed up. So as part of the scientific study, we would have to reverse it over different days. So they would start in the Fairfax and then they would go back to their own bridle.